everyone, welcome back to the Her Real Happiness YouTube channel. Hi everyone, and welcome back to the Her Real Happiness YouTube channel. My name is Holly, and here we talk about all things manifestation, and sometimes we talk about tarot. Today's let me start again. Hi everyone, welcome back to the Her Real Happiness YouTube channel. My name is Holly, and here we talk about all things manifestation and sometimes tarot. If you're interested in that sort of content, please feel free to subscribe and press the bell icon to get notifications for every time that I upload. Today's video we are talking about we're gonna toot my own horn for a little bit. We're gonna talk about how I manifested everyone I have ever wanted. In the hopes that it will help you guys to manifest your SP. Basically, the long and short of it is I always knew that they wanted me. There was no doubt in my mind ever that they wanted me. So I just knew. Whenever I wanted someone, I knew that they wanted me. There was no doubt. There was no other thought coming into my brain. Every time I thought of that person, I was like, oh, I know that they like me. I know they want me. Like, every time I talk to them, they love it. They love seeing me pop up on their phone. They love it. They love me talking to them. Every time they see me, they're always checking me out. Like, I always had these assumptions. That's just my assumption, and I don't know where the assumption comes from, because obviously when I was younger I had issues with myself, and so I found it difficult obviously to have relationships when I was younger. But as I got older, it was like something clicked and it's like I just knew that these people, they wanted me, and so it was how I manifested my partner. He's the love of my life. You know, we're engaged. Unfortunately, I can't wear my engagement ring on my fingers because I've just had a baby and my fingers are still swollen from the operation. So, so we wear it on here. But the whole time that we were talking, I just knew that he had feelings for me, and it wasn't. He was the one that confessed. I didn't confess to him. He was the one that came forward to me. I just spoke to him. I didn't let on anything that would make him think that I liked him in return. We just chatted. We would talk all the time. We talked like every day. We were really good friends for a long time because we were both in separate relationships until, you know, we cut those off and got together. You know, so we bonded over the issues that we had in those relationships, and I just knew. And here's a little story time for you guys, all right? There's one thing that I always come back to every time I have any sort of doubts about, and not that I get them so much anymore, but when I used to have doubts about whether manifestation actually worked, I always come back to this, to this thing, this event that happened. I was meant to go out and go and meet him, and he'd been at the pub drinking, and he hadn't been drinking that night. Let's cut that out. He'd been at the pub, and I was due to go out and meet him, and I left the house and I went to ring him, and I couldn't get through. His phone had run out of battery. So I was like, oh. So I went and sat at the station. I was playing Pokemon Go at the time. So I was like playing on Pokemon Go. I was defeating the gym and everything that was there. I was like, oh, I'll give him a chance to sort of get back home maybe, and maybe try and give me a ring. So I waited there. I still couldn't get through to him. I tried calling him again. Nothing. Still couldn't get through. He was obviously still out. So I was like, oh, damn it. I'll just go back. I'll just go back home. It's time to go back home. So I would usually go a specific way home. It was the easiest way to get from the station to where I lived. So I was just, but this this one day, I was like, oh no, I'll go the main roadway back because, you know, I felt like going the main roadway back. And I was walking down the road and I saw these headlights. You know, a few cars had gone past, but there was this specific set of headlights, and I was like, that's him. I couldn't see the car because it was pitch black, and all I could see were these headlights. And obviously, I don't know what the headlights of his car look like. I could see these headlights, and I just knew that's him. And the next thing I know, the car slows down, pulls over, there he is. So I jumps in, and we go off together. And the things that make me think about it is, one, I could have just gone out, not been able to get hold of him, and gone straight back home, in which case I wouldn't have bumped into him. I could have gone the normal way home, which 99% of the time I would have gone that way. There's you know, that was the quickest way home. I would have gone that way otherwise, and for some reason I decided that I wanted to go the main roadway home instead of the back way home, and so I could have gone that way, and so I wouldn't have bumped into him because he wouldn't have been driving that route to his house. And then the fact that I didn't know that vehicle was his. I couldn't see his car. I don't know the shape. I don't know if there is a difference in the shape of headlights. So I didn't know those headlights were his, but I assumed that was him, and it was him. And all these things just slotted into place, that I was going to meet him that day. I was going to bump into him that day. There was no doubt in my mind that we were still going to see each other, even though I couldn't get hold of him, even though I didn't know when he was going to be going home. I didn't know that he was going to be going home at that exact time. And so all of these things came together because because my assumptions were that I was going to meet him. I was going to bump into him. The fact that I couldn't get hold of him did not stop me from being sure that I was going to see him that night. That's where my assumption was, that I was going to see him that night. And that's where your assumption needs to be. Your assumption needs to be, I assume, and I know deep down in the fucking pit of my soul that this is gonna work, that this is the person, that this person loves me, that this person contacts me constantly. I know this is how it is. This is how it is. That's what you've got to remember, that you've got to declare it. This is how it is. And that you won't take anything less than that. You will take exactly what you want, and that is it. So you tell your SP inside your fucking thoughts, inside your brain, you tell them how you want them to behave. Because at the end of the day, it is your assumptions that create. It's your assumptions that create. And so when you know and you declare that thing to be true, that thing has to happen. The things have to move to make that assumption real, because it is your assumptions that create. And so if you affirm to the point that it becomes a knowing, that you know that that's going to happen, you know that that person loves you, that that person wants you, that that person is obsessed with you, when you know, then the things have to move to show that to you, to prove that your assumptions are real. What you assume about anything is how it shows up in your reality. And so it has to show you. Your reality is based on your assumptions. And your affirmations are what creates that assumption. I'm sorry for all the interruptions. I have a bit of a colicky baby right now. And so I hope that I got the point across, even though obviously there's been a bit of some distractions. But I hope that I got this point across, and I hope that it was helpful to you. if you found this helpful, please leave me a little thumbs up, because that would really help me to know that you're finding these useful. Leave me a little comment and tell me how you know that you're going to get your SP. And I will see you guys in the next one. Take care, everyone. Bye bye.